This is the future.
So I have all the subsumable abilities in the Helminth system. Also, I have maxed the Helminth system, allowing me to access all the Helminth abilities in this feature. I also have tried all the variants and wasted a lot of resources in the Helminth system. Is it worth it? You bet it is. The Helminth system is one of the best features in Warframe in my opinion. But wait, not all Helminth and subsume abilities are great or decent enough to have synergies in some specific Warframes. These are the most hated Warframes of the Helminth system, and make this video as a reference on what to subsume and don't, so you won't waste your time and resources. But a quick reminder though, I am not forcing you to play the way I play. Refer to this video as a guide on what is important, and what is not in the Helminth system, so you can also save up some resources. We have talked about the best Helminth abilities in the past. Now, let's talk about the worst to take. First stop is Coil Horizon. Jaya is a new Warframe, but her subsume ability is nothing new to the Helminth system. Coil Horizon is great when used by Jaya herself, as the damage of her abilities becomes stronger the moment enemies get caught in one spot by the ability. Coil Horizon is more of a grouping ability, but it becomes great with Jaya since the ability does deal electric damage, and it can take advantage of the passive ability of Jaya that grants 10% chance to deal critical damage for each electrical status that affects the enemy. Coil Horizon is one key ingredient to achieve red crit on Jaya's abilities faster. On the other hand, it's very underwhelming as a subsume ability. You ask why? It's because we got tons of grouping abilities already in the Helminth system, and Jaya's Coil Horizon is not as effective as the other grouping abilities in the Helminth system. We got the top dogs in here when it comes to grouping, like Lava and Ensnare, and it's really redundant to put another grouping abilities with no special features which can make players think of subsuming it on their Warframes, compared to using the meta grouping abilities. Next on the line is Levos Vile Rush. While it's tempting to add this on my Warframe for the mobility, crowd control because of cold procs, and the no energy needed feature since it's a cooldown oriented ability, I was very disappointed in the end, as there are better abilities when it comes to mobility and cold procs. No energy consumption may sound thrilling, but it's only good when used with Levos since the cooldown can further be shortened by using his abilities. However, Vile Rush has no place for other Warframes. Hell, even with Levos, I decided to replace Vile Rush with another subsume ability, preferably Ensnare, since it's more useful for the overall gameplay of Levos compared to just sprinting around trying to be like Speed Boy Gauss. Next is Nazar's Firewalker. Now, I know some will not agree with me, as this is just a personal opinion, but please hear me out before you comment. Seeing your Warframe leave a trail of fire, damaging enemies with heat damage and stun locking them for a while is very fun theoretically. But the fact is, I don't see Firewalker as an effective ability. Sure, it is fun especially when paired with fast frames like Gauss, but you will need to sacrifice something in the kit of Gauss, which I don't think is better. Also, if you put things into perspective, would you even use an ability that will task you to run around so you can proc heat, then damage and crowd control enemies? Or, you would rather just use an ability that has decent area of effect and can affect multiple enemies, and at the same time, it's far superior in terms of killing enemies? I think it's a pretty obvious choice. Firewalker is a cool subsumable ability to any Warframe, but its effective is kind of lackluster in my opinion. The next ability is Tempest Barrage from Hydroid. This is one of the abilities of the Warframe considered by many as a bottom dweller. No, seriously, it's not just because Hydroid is a water-based Warframe, that is why I said bottom dweller, but because many consider him as one of the worst Warframes in the game. Tempest Barrage, in my opinion, is lackluster for a subsumable ability on other Warframes since it does not offer something big to a Warframe. The ability is simple, you cast it and it will make it rain. When you hold the ability, it increases its lethality. It's a good thing that once an enemy got hit by Tempest Barrage, they get knocked down, but the rainfall is so random that you can't rely on its effectivity. It has an augment that makes it deals corrosive damage, but what is corrosive now when you can fully strip the armor of an enemy with Unaru? The same thing with the next subsumable ability included in this list, the Shuriken of Ash. In the past, this ability is meta because of the Seeking Shuriken augment that allows you to strip all armor of an enemy with enough power strength in your build. However, it loses some of its power when Digital Extremes decided to lower the armor value of enemies and release some abilities that are way better than a Seeking Shuriken build. The worst update for this ability is probably Angels of Saruman, as it completely makes a Seeking Shuriken build obsolete, since now, we can remove the armor of enemies in one tap when we use the Caustic Strike ability of the Untitled Focus. If you are planning to offer Ash into the Helminth system for a Seeking Shuriken build, then don't, as you will be wasting your time and resources. And lastly, I included on this list Nyx's Mind Control ability. There are some specific combos that could make Mind Control super fun to use. The first one is that it works with Revenant and you can create 2 unkillable Mind Control thralls with this. Secondly, you can make a powerful unit when you decided to subsume this with Warframes that can boost damage. The likes of Chroma and Mirage are good candidates, but with Mag, your mind-controlled unit will be super busted. Mind control works this way: you cast the ability, then you will hit the target affected by the ability and the damage you dealt will determine how much damage multiplier will your mind control target will have. Now, you can also apply damage multiplying ability such as Mag's Magnetize into the target, allowing massive damage stack, and giving the mind control target plenty of damage power. While this is interesting, I'm still not investing my time with this setup since AI in this game is dumb, except for Wukong's Celestial clone of course. Also, I find it not worth investing since even at Steel Path levels, huge damage boost from the AI means that you will only kill enemies fast with it, and don't one-shot them. If somehow, the damage of the AI can one-shot all the enemies to compensate all the effort you have gone through, to increase its damage, then we can discuss a mind control setup. So that's all about it. Now, I would like to know what are the abilities you considered not worth investing in the Helminth system. Also, if you are asking why I did not tackle the Helminth abilities, then it's because once you level up your Helminth, then you can unlock them and there's no need to invest resources in sacrificing a Warframe. In terms of usability, well, I could say that most of them have uses in specific setup, and also, as the title suggests, this is more towards Warframes being subsumed into the Helminth system to produce a specific ability. This is more of a guide on what Warframes you need to avoid subsuming into the Helminth system first. Now, I'll be making another Helminth video tier list since there are tons of stuff right now that changed. Also, I will be updating some guides and builds. Before you leave, I would like to say thank you to all of you guys for being patient with me. I haven't provided content for 3 days because I was sick, but I'm back to grinding now. Thank you so much for your support. Squad leader signing off.